Nigeria has the largest economy in sub-Saharan Africa, and its fast-growing technology, fame, and fashion sectors have become a strong export of culture. The success of practitioners in the creative industry has encouraged enterprise and introduced new models and methods of working, accounting for a boom in the creative economy, which has also gained international recognition. With enormous potential, the sector has reaped in its contribution to the gross domestic product (GDP) in Nigeria. How do we keep encouraging this viable industry to grow the nation's economy? How do we boost international traffic in this sector? These questions will get answers in this edition of Issues of the Moment, which focuses on Nigeria's creative economy. I am Chukunonso Nwabueze. Don't go away. We will be right back. Thanks for staying tuned. Our focus is Nigeria's creative economy, and my guest is the Director General, Nigerian Film Corporation, Dr. Chidia Maduekwe. Dr. Maduekwe, welcome to Issues of the Moment.
Thanks for having me. Viewers, it's my pleasure.
Now, looking at the resources that we have in the creative industry, where is the position of Nigeria in the Committee of Nations?
Today, Nigeria is really there at the top. Nigeria is at the apex. Nigeria is the definition of what tomorrow will be when it comes to creativity, or indeed the creative industry. It might interest you to know that the numbers we have in terms of the huge youth population and the creativity, the resilience that is embedded in them, means that the world is looking towards Nigeria. If you look at our diversity, it's another angle of advantage that means that the world is looking towards us, because we have a rich culture that has over 300 and something, tribes and all that, with diverse mother tongues, with diverse aspects of what happens in their immediate community. By the time you sequence all this together in an effort to tell story, you find out that this is a huge trove of storytelling that has never been any of its type in the whole world as we speak today. That's probably why we have overtaken India. That's probably why we are running neck and neck or very much behind Hollywood in terms of quantity. But in terms of quality, we are getting there, and we are making every other thing to make it possible. So the creativity of our young one, the population of our young one, the restiveness of our youth are all there in our favor.
Talking about quality, like you've mentioned, how is your corporation co-opting Nigerians or youths that are young who doesn't have formal education in order to bring quality into what we already have?
Yeah, I want to start by saying that some of the films that have been good, of which, blockbusting kind of revenue accrual, you check most of the 70–80% of the cast were people we trained at National Film Institute. That's the training arm of the Nigerian Film Corporation. So that to me is something to be proud of, that the successes we have so far rendered in our big cinemas in Nigeria, the cast, most of them were people trained at NFI. Then if you now come into the way forward in terms of training, yes, we are building capacity, and the global world is looking towards us, and we are having co-production treaties that are coming up from several European countries. Even lately, Latin American countries like Argentina are all keyed in to having a co-production treaty, training the trainer, building capacity, sending down equipment. Take, for example, the German government, they are sending down huge sums of equipment. Not only that, going ahead to set up master degree program in archival studies at Unijos. So we are attracting global presence, because like I said, the whole world knows that Africa, indeed Nigeria, because when you talk about the movie industry in Africa, actually you are talking about 80% or 70% of what happens in Nigeria. And as we speak today, a whole lot of focusing is now in that direction. Again, you must understand, this is being made possible because of the policy agenda of this administration. This administration came into power and said, listen, we're going to diversify the economy. We are not going to be dependent on the oil revenue. And they said that creativity is the way forward. We are not going to be based or judged by what we have beneath our feet. But the hour and time has come for Nigerians to be assessed by what they have above our shoulders. And that is where the creativity thing came into being. And this administration has never taken a back seat. It might interest you to know, furtherance to this very position of the government, the vice president is leading a team of young Nigerian entrepreneurs on a road show, on a tech road show to Silicon Valley in order to see how there will be a synergy interface between the young Nigerian startups, excited startups who are creative, and how they can have a mind blend with those in the Silicon Valley so that there can be derivables coming here and creating jobs and being prosperous and knowing that what is the way forward is creativity and not just consuming what we dig out of the ground.
Apart from University of Jos, you mentioned, how is your corporation partnering with other institutions of higher learning or even secondary schools to ensure that most of our students key into this creative mindset and business?
Yeah, like I said earlier on, there is attention being drawn to film production to the extent that the National University Commission is today restructuring the curriculum, whereby the entire universities in Nigeria are going to key into that. And to a great extent, I must say that the impetus is somehow coming from what we're doing at NFI and what Bayero University also started doing. So National Youth Commission is involved in a new curriculum for film production so that we find out that most universities will not just be offering theater and arts, but they'll be offering theater and film studies in Nigeria.
Looking at the level of partnership between the government and individuals who are into this industry, how is the synergy? How has it been, and what are we looking moving forward?
You find out that you need to create the legal framework in order to encourage the individual in the field to find the room to play, to find where they can factor their interest and draw the dividend of what support government is giving to actualize what they intend to achieve. Before now, you have the Bank of Industry, which has created a very robust desk called the Creative Economy Desk, which is there to give funding to people whose films, whose scripts have been adjudged to be okay, doable, and they fund it. And most of the successful, blockbuster films, cinema films we have had in Nigeria had the footprint of Bank of Industry. But more than that, I want to let you know that because of government seriousness in creating an impetus in this new economy, the creative economy, the framework, the legal framework that will make it more robust is almost at the tail end, which is the creation of Nigerian Film Commission. Instead of Nigerian Film Corporation, we are now going to become the Nigerian Film Commission. As a commission with full regulatory powers, with enormous capacity deliverables to enhance the intent of the young ones.
Talking about what your government is doing, the APC-led federal government, we still have issues of infrastructure deficit, which is one of the challenges being faced by the creative industry. How is your government? Are you working with the federal government to see that there is a first lift so that it will facilitate the desired goal in this sector?
We must start by telling the truth to the situation as it were. And the truth here is that President Muhammad Buhari government is one government. If you don't remember anything about this government, what you must remember is that this is a government that have done so much with so little. If we remember that statement, a government that done so much with so little, it becomes easy to understand how much they have labored to put infrastructural facilities in place to enable even the creative industry to thrive. Today, most young ones, depending on where they're staying, are saying that they're having more power than they've ever had before. Today, most young ones, when you are shooting film, you want landscape. If there are no good landscape, if there are no good roads, you cannot shoot, award-winning global films. Because we have beautiful roads coming up now between Enugu and Onitsha, between Calabar and Port Harcourt, between Ibadan and Lagos. You find out that you can drive your car to those roads and you get some good shot. Not just taking the Ikoyi Bridge in Lagos every time you watch Nigerian movie. Every time you just see one road in Lagos. But now the federal government is enhancing capacity in all the three geopolitical zones with enormous infrastructural development, to the extent that Nigerian filmmakers will have multiplicity of choice as to where to go and shoot their films. So we must have it in our mind that APC government of President Muhammadu Buhari is one that has done so much with so little. And because of that, they have given impetus in the area of creative economy, because they want to walk their talk. They are saying that no, we cannot be dependent on creating jobs for people to be employed in the federal agencies because there is not enough job. But we can create the enabling environment so that people can become employers of labor. Take example, when we train our people in the area of motion filmmaking, be it still photography or how to handle the camera, you find out that one person you have trained with the camera invariably is employing about 5 to 10 other people. And Nigerian Bureau of Statistics lately have come to say that apart from agriculture, the other sector that is employing people or creating jobs in Nigeria is the motion picture industry, because these are low-hanging fruits. And you know, our young ones are tech savvy. Anywhere you go, you find out that they have their phone, the Android phone, and they want to do so many things about it, and they're very creative. So because we are creating that trainer environment, it is creating the impetus for the young ones to go into that inadvertently creating job, because they have interest in that. And I also want to let you know that we have a platform called mobile training platform, which will soon come up in all the 6 geopolitical roads, because we don't expect everybody to come to Jos or to come to Lagos or indeed any other place or the university to acquire that. If we want to do that for a population of over 60 million youth, we are not going to crack the surface. So we came up with this innovative approach of having a mobile approach to training young ones in the act of motion picture. And so we are launching our mobile training platform very soon.
So how do we describe the contributions of this sector to the nation's economy?
Without this sector, Nigeria will never have been the biggest economy in Africa.
Why do you say so?
Because when it came in 2014 to rebase Nigeria's economy, after every other indices have been put in place, South Africa was still ahead of us. But those who were working on it, Okonjo-Iweala and their team, said, wow, there is this aspect, the Nollywood. We forgot what they are doing. You are talking about entertainment, you're talking about fashion, you're talking about the music, you're talking about how we dress. It's all the film is at the tipping edge of the arrow. It is when they went back to film that we were able to rebase the economy, and we became the biggest economy in Africa at that time at 1.5 GDP contribution, which is no mean thing. Considering that most of the effort in this area, we must give credit to the resilience and enterprise of our young men. They did it not because government had any, rolled out red carpet to make it happen, but the resilience in the Nigerian entrepreneur was what brought about it. So today you find out that we are exceeding that 1.5 GDP percent contribution in GDP. And under my watch, I'm insisting that for the time I will be the chief executive of Nigerian Film Corporation, I'm working I'm firing in all the cylinders to make sure that we raise this to about 10% contribution to the GDP. I want a situation whereby if tomorrow another president of America emerges and thinks that they have to toy with the HB1 visa as to who will come to Silicon Valley or California, if they want to toy with HB1 visa, it will affect the stock market here in Nigeria. The same way it affected the stock market in New Delhi, because we found out that most of the Indian techs were there in Silicon Valley or in California contributing their quota to the economy of that area. I want a situation whereby, due to the kind of training and enhancement capacity we are going to put in the Nigerian motion picture practitioners, they will all be there in Hollywood. And so we will take our rightful share because we have the numbers.
We'll pause for a while. When we come back, we'll look at what your agency and also government is doing to consolidate on these achievements.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Time for a short break. The program continues in a moment. Thanks for staying tuned to Issues of the Moment, and we are looking at Nigeria's creative economy. My guest is the Director General of Nigerian Film Corporation, Dr. Chidia Maduekwe. Before the break, you were talking about the successes recorded so far by the present administration. What is the government doing in consolidating on these achievements?
The government, as we speak, is seeking out co-production treaties from various countries to the magnitude that never been experienced. President of France, Macron, is visiting Nigeria tomorrow or thereabout, tomorrow. Part of the deliverables or takeaway for his visit is the co-production agreement between Nigeria and France, so that we are going to work together in producing films, which means the government of France that funds the French producer will equally fund the Nigerian producer when they are working together with the producer from France. Before the visit of the French president, AFD, which is Agency for Fund Development from France, came knocking. They visited me and they said they have come and to give money in the area of culture and audiovisual. They want to assist in opening up cinemas in Nigeria. They want to give our entrepreneur citizens in the motion picture industry, maybe just one digit kind of financial, loan to enable them grow the industry. So also is Germany, based on the good cultural relationship Nigeria is enjoying with Germany. They are giving a lot of funding, a lot of equipment to NFC to train people. They are participating in our film festival. Film festival is where you celebrate cinematic excellence. And you cannot be a film producing nation without a film festival, a robust one. I want to let you know that until I came to office, for over 5 years, there was no national film festival. But now, since last year, we started one. This year, we are having another one. I have received several interests from great nations of the world. The United States, the Spain, Argentina, like I said, Lebanon, and several other countries, Norway in particular. Norway have said that they are going to fund what we are doing in Nigerian film production, not just in Nigeria, but we'll take it to Norway, whereby there will be an annual Nigerian Film Festival in Norway, back to back with a business forum engagement, so that our teaming entrepreneurs will have opportunity to be exposed to the global best practices as it happens in Europe or indeed any other part of the world. With those kind of exposure, our people will have rich contact with other film destinations like India, like China, like of course America, not to talk about Saudi Arabia that suddenly is going into cinema and going there big, not to talk about Morocco, whom we have enjoyed excellent relationship because of the personal relationship our president have with the king of Morocco, who have helped us in our economy in the area of fertilizer. Today have decided to equally double down in the area of audiovisuals. So the Moroccan Kingdom of Morocco are already willing, have offered a lot of scholarship for our young men to go to Kingdom of Morocco to learn certain art. And if you go to Morocco, you know that Morocco had long enjoyed cinematic relationship with Hollywood, and they are highly developed in Africa. So as we speak today, based on the leadership attribute of President Mohamed Buhari, personal relationship with the King of Kingdom of Morocco, we have Kingdom of Morocco backing us up holistically in order to see to it that our movie industry is highly developed. So when you put all these things together, and we are about being engaged by the office of the Amnesty in the presidency to train, former militants in the act of motion picture industry. Not only train them, but provide startup, rent houses, rent offices for them, buy generator, put up equipment so that they are instantly engaged in motion picture. So it's not just train and they go back and get nothing doing. So we have a comprehensive approach that is, focused on exploding the economy when it comes to motion picture industry.
Like you said, talking about Morocco, partnering Nigeria, investing heavily in Nigeria's creative industry. Many may say, like political watchers might say, is it not for them to have the backing of Nigeria in their quest to be member of ECOWAS? What's your take on this?
That is fantastic, because there is nothing wrong with that. After all, they are back into the AU. If they are back into the AU, what is wrong if they decide, to find a roof under ECOWAS? After all, we have a trade, something we are supposed to sign in Rwanda. We are still consulting. We have not gone to sign the African Free Trade Agreement. Nigeria is not signatory to it because we are still consulting and wanting to know to what extent our own manufacturing association protected. So in the same manner, you don't expect that Morocco will just come into ECOWAS and then they'll push everybody out. But you don't live in isolation. And remember, what has always been the focus of Nigeria, right from the first prime minister, we have always been African-centered. We are a big brother nation. We have the spirit of the African brotherhood. It is all anchored and centered here in Abuja. So we are big enough to carry the load of Africa.
Now, looking at protecting the intellectual property, how is your corporation, your agency, partnering with other stakeholders in ensuring that, most important, piracy, many say, has been killing the creative industry?
Piracy has been the 10-foot gorilla in the room. It's been destroying a whole lot. It has made our creative giants poor. But I tell you that the story is changing, because we are coming up with laws. We are coming up with technology. We are coming up in enforcement abilities that will take care, that will strengthen the other agencies of government, like the National Copyright Commission, like the National Video and Census Board, to do their work. And it might interest you to know that, again, global community are not leaving us alone. Recently, the American embassy here in Nigeria has given some slots to some of our lecturers to go to Washington for a training, not just a one-off training, but a continuous training in the issue of intellectual property rights. And so also have they equally shown concern in several other areas. We are signing certain relationship agreement with some high-tech agencies in Silicon Valley. That's part of the reason for this trip. When I was there in May, so when I joined the vice president and go again, I'll consolidate in those areas. And like I said, once our law comes up, the National Film Commission law, making us a full regulatory agency of government, all these things will be in the past.
So your message to upcoming artists is that they should not give up?
The message to upcoming artists, to let them know they are in the right place at the right time in history, that the future beckons on them. They couldn't have had it better. They are who they are today because they are Nigerians. And because they are Nigerians, one, they have the figures, they have the numbers, they have the diversity, they have the richness, they have the economy, that they can bust the chart anywhere in the globe they are. That is great to be a Nigerian. MTN today is big because they came to Nigeria. So we are Nigerians. We cannot be less while we are in Nigeria practicing our act in the creative economy. It is good to be a Nigerian in this industry.
Thank you, Dr. Chidia Maduekwe, the Director General, Nigerian Film Corporation, for coming on Issues of the Moment. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Hope to see you next time.
I will always be available.
That's all there on this episode of Issues of the Moment. We focus on Nigeria's creative industry, and my guest was Dr. Chidia Maduekwe, Director General, Nigerian Film Corporation. Keep a date with us for fresh editions. I am Chukunonso Mwabeze. Bye for now.